Alright boys, welcome back to the Black Clover mode video. We have finally defeated part 7 of the Plaitchidna raid boss. So to quickly run through it because this video can be lengthy. Do you need to defeat part 7 to get the skill page enhancement? No. I believe all you have to do to defeat it or to get the skill page enhancement is simply beat part 4 5 days in a row. Because you get like 30 a day, you need 500. And you get first time clear rewards as well. If you can make it part 5, you can definitely easily get it. But I do believe if you got to part 4 on the second day and you've been clearing it every single day, 3 times a day, you will have enough time and enough points to get obviously the skill page enhancement. And generally it's the only thing that really matters. You don't need to repeat part 7, but today we are going to do a guide to how to defeat it. And obviously that would trickle down towards the lower parts. So even if you don't have some of my suggestions and what I'm using, or you don't have the gear for it, then don't worry, you could probably still easily do the other parts. But boys, before we get into the video, if you guys are new and you do enjoy the content, and if you want to get Black Clover daily content, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button to let more people know this video exists. Alright, so for the teams, this is what I actually use. I will quickly explain part 1, but generally boys, it's pretty self-explanatory. All we need is Lotus to actually slow the character or the boss fight to make it so he can never attack us. The boss generally doesn't do a lot of damage. I do bring Mars because they actually do have a combined attack where you do lower the attack power. So you could bring Mars, but if you don't, you can definitely bring Charlotte instead to use her ultimate. As long as you lower the attack power, you're generally quite fine. The gimmick we're going for this raid boss during phase 1 is to slow the boss enough to where we can get a bunch of turns in, but then when the boss is about to attack, we then use the AoE skill with Julius to reset stamina down to 0 and just keep on cycling until we can chip him down. Quickly to jump over to phase 2, you need 3 magic attack sets, 1 for Noelle, 1 for Radis, and also 1 for Charmies. If you're kind of a casual or like you just haven't gotten good RNG with gear like myself for example, I only have 3 magic attack sets, but you kind of need 4 because Julius wants to have a magic attack set onto him. Well, I will say you kind of don't need it for phase 1 because I actually use attack set onto him, mainly because, well, the boss just doesn't attack, so we don't really need gear for Julius actually. You can probably defeat phase 1 without ever having gear on the characters, and it's kind of what I did here. My Vatos has 0 gear onto him. My Lotus also has 0 gear onto him. My actual Mars does have gear onto him, but he wasn't doing damage. It's not like he's a big damage healer. It's just simple defense gear, what I'd use. But to be fair, he might as well have no gear because it generally didn't matter. And then obviously the big damage healing where all your damage comes from is going to be Julius. Once you get any attack set onto him, even if it isn't magic, it still actually works here. So definitely put that onto him because you'll see, especially if you use his team, the boss just basically never attacks because you can keep resetting your stamina. Obviously, that's assuming you have his skill page to where you can reset his stamina. If you don't have his skill page, then yes, you probably need gear because the boss will be fighting back, and at that point, well, Julius and your other characters do need to tank a few turns. But yeah, even without resetting stamina, he just doesn't do a lot of damage, so you'll see that during the video. Okay, so moving on to phase 2. These 2 characters, at least for part 6 and part 7, are kind of a must here. Radis just giving more barrier towards Noelle is actually really good. If you don't know how it works, barriers do actually stack upon each other. They don't overwrite each other. So you can combine both of these characters to get a massive shield, and that is very helpful. Who can you replace instead of Radis? Honestly, I'm not too sure if you can because no one's really given defense. If you want the lower stages, not part 6 and part 7, you probably could bring Vanessa to give you total defense, the endurance up basically, total defense as well. She could be a substitute at the lower levels, maybe 4 or 5, but generally for part 6 and part 7, you want to bring Radis. The third slot is a simple one. You just need to bring a healer, whether that be the SR Charmy, which everyone probably has and used during season 1 to farm obviously blue game. Probably what you're still using to farm the red dungeon right now. But yeah, just bring a healer right now for me. Obviously SR Charmy, most of us should be using that, so probably bring her. You could bring obviously the swimsuit one if you built the character up, and if you probably have a 2-star dupe tier, so she's got constant healing. For me right now, she's just not really worth healing and not really worth bringing. I did see someone defeat the raid boss with this actual Mosa, so you could also bring her instead. And I guess that also goes towards season 1 Clover Academy Mosa. You can also bring her too. And then the final slot can only be 2 characters, at least for part 6 and part 7, and that is going to be Ghosh, because what we want is someone to buff up magic attacks, so bringing Ghosh can also work. But I think by far the best support is going to be the SSR Sally. If you have the SSR Sally, she is by far going to be the best support for Noelle and going to make you clear this probably a lot more easier. But unfortunately, right now, my account, I do not have Sally, so I have to go with Ghost here. I think you could go towards Gifso. Yeah, you could kind of go with Gifso, I think, a little bit. But, yeah, I'll probably still go with Ghost. She's like a really substitute if you have, like, no one. But there's a really good chance you don't have Gifso because he's still relatively new. Also, a little tip, and probably what I recommend doing is having 2 talents on the characters for both probably Noelle and also Julius. It'll make it literally so much easier. One is going to be this actual talent here where you do actually deal more damage towards actual bosses. So yeah, I would probably put this on if you... I think the raid boss counts as a boss. I'll be pretty embarrassed if it doesn't. But yes, I did use this one in the boss because I assume it's a boss and you do get 10% increased damage dealt. Also, the Mage's Blessing, I generally think I only won because of this. Having that 3-turn cooldown turn to a 2-turn cooldown with Noelle to where you can always have a shield on, because if you don't actually have this proc, there's going to be 1 turn where Noelle has no barrier and she can die actually. Yeah, this procing twice in my run literally made me win. It will take a bit of RNG and a bit of like luck to try and defeat part 7 because you have to let this proc at least twice or maybe every single time you use Noelle. Same goes for Julius, but not so much because you can still do without it. I did bring HP food. It generally didn't matter because I didn't really get weak enough. I just had it on because I had it. Alright, so I'm going to talk over a little bit of the gameplay, but for phase 1, like I said, very easy. You kind of just buff up the magic attack every single time you can with Vatos to make Julius do more damage, since he is lacking the magic attack, so he doesn't have the right gear on. But yeah, when you use your ultimate with obviously Lotus there, if you don't hit the speed debuff, then just leave and reset. And after you get the speed debuff then, or the speed debuff, then you're kind of good to go. Use the combined attack on Mars to get the attack lower on, to where if the boss somehow does attack, then don't worry, you can actually make it so he does like no damage, even without gear on. And even though Vatos is like half HP right now, he still does almost no damage and barely even kills him. Right now, this is a situation where he's around like 90% mobility, about to attack next here. So this is where the Vatos ultimate comes into play. We use the ultimate to get the Julius in front here, and then boom, we're going to use the tier 2 to reset his stamina and make it so he can never attack. And yeah, at that point you want to use some AoEs with the obviously Lotus to hopefully proc the mobility decrease. Julius can also do that on his ultimate and also his skill 1, but if he does crit, he is going to increase your own mobility, so that can help out as well. And yeah, that is basically phase 1. I'm going to probably skip right now because literally, boys, all we do right now is just attack the boss, and when I can, if I attack before him, I will actually reset his stamina. But you'll see right now, he does manage to attack me. My Vatos is basically half HP, and boom, he's, yeah, didn't even die because of the attack lower from Mars's ultimate. Or combined attack. And yeah, we just buff up Julius again to simply do it. Alright, so yeah, once again, the boss is just ready attacking. We're trying to get the mobility decrease here. You'll see Julius, we did get a nice lucky little crit here, and it dealt like 239k. Yeah, insane damage considering this is an attack set. If that was an actual magic attack set, then that probably would have been like 350k, maybe 400, I don't know. But yeah, once again, Julius can generally have really bad gear on and still do it because this is just, he can't attack. Like, he's attacked once in like 40 turns. It's insane. You just keep resetting him and he can never attack. Okay, so moving into wave 2, I'm gonna let this video play out entirely so you lot can watch what I was doing, and also how lucky I got here, because I don't want to commentate through all of it, but I'll show you what I was doing and what I was kind of thinking about in the moment. Once again, this play line, use Radha's ultimate, use a tier 2 from Ghost whenever Noelle's about to get a shield, so her shield can be as tanky as possible. Bear in mind, the Radha's shield and also the Noelle shield, they do combine, so you have got one big tanky shield. For Charmy, we never use the tier 2 heal, because one, I can't really see who's the weakest, so I actually don't know who to heal. But also, we rather do single target damage, one, to deal damage, but also have that chance to proc that double attack to heal the whole team. That's kind of why I like Charmy. Obviously, Radis, when we can, use a tier 2 skill to get that damage resistance and also to get the defense up too. And yeah, just simply watch Noelle counter as much as possible. We don't do a lot of damage. We slowly getting down, but it's enough to do it after like 5 minutes. Once again, we buffed up Noelle. I think I did get lucky the last turn that we actually proc the Major Blessings. Our shield now procs. So I think it would have been one more turn without a shield here. And that definitely does save us here because this big damage here. does quite a lot actually on the shield, but we do tank it. It was green, a little bit unfortunate. If the boss does attack when he's green, he does do a lot, and I mean a lot more damage towards Charmy and Ghosh, who are by far the squishiest ones. So you can see when he's blue, he does like no damage. I think if the character was green, then we definitely would have died, considering I didn't really have a shield for Ghosh and also Charmy. So right now, yeah, we didn't get the major blessing, the proc here, so we have literally no shield. So we can do a lot of damage a little bit there. Thankfully, once again, it wasn't during the ultimate turn. It was only the weak little AoE skills. And yeah, we're going to buff up the world again, give the shield. And just simply repeat, once again, when you have no shield on, you're kind of good for 2 turns. Once again, you just got to pray that the Mage's Blessing proc, so that does turn into a 2-turn cooldown rather than 3. And as you can see, we're slowly chipping her down. Just going to keep buffing up the world. Once again, I do want to stress that Radis' actual AoE stuff he's doing with his defense and damage resistance is helping out quite a lot here. I do believe this happens twice here. I can kind of say I got very lucky, but you can see right now he's green, about to use the AoE ultimate, but my Ghost somehow slipped in front of him, so we're able to change the color type to obviously blue. That did 23k tap neutral against Ghost. If that was a green character, he would have died. So that's like the RNG part that comes into it. If you get bad color swaps, it does retain order, but if my Ghost didn't go front there, we definitely would have lost here. Same right there. If it was green, we actually would have died. So we lucky, I'm pretty sure, got the major blessing to proc there. So I was twice in about 4 goes. So definitely below rate, we managed to proc that. And that basically made us win the game because the boss is almost dead now. To the point that I'm pretty sure I kill him before I even use the Noel shield again. Once again, Noel slipping through last second to stop him from ulting when he's green, to where he does change to blue. Once again, if that was a green boss, we probably would have lost that there. And right now, yeah, he's just like literally 1 HP to where we can just literally do single target skills. Also, the single target skill damage he does is actually pretty good, which is why you want to bring healer. I kind of didn't really mention that too much, but if you are like above 80% HP, he does give increased damage dealt. That's obviously good for Charmy to heal. And then, yeah, we do a single target skill. He is going to just die towards this actual AoE skill. So, yeah, boys, that is hopefully a pretty good explanation about how to defeat Part 7. But yeah, Part 7 does take a bit of RNG. The fact that you have to pray or get lucky that he doesn't nuke you when he's green, to where he doesn't kill your Ghost or Charmy. And also get quite lucky that you're able to proc the actual Mage's Blessing, which I said multiple times is going to be this skill cooldown. This proc twice, and it definitely made me win the game. So boys, thank you for watching this video. Once again, let me know if you've managed to defeat Part 7 and also what teams you actually used if you did manage to defeat it. I'm kind of curious if anyone can do Phase 2 without Radis in the world, because I feel like these two are just like a must right now. Generally, Radis has become one of my favorite characters. I'm using PvP as well. He's just like such a go-to good character to pair up with like every single content. So boys, thank you for watching this video, and yeah, peace.